Why is population important for margin of error calculations? Imagine trying to guess how many people in a city like New York prefer a certain brand of coffee. You can't ask everyone, so you take a small group. But how accurate is that guess? That's where understanding population size becomes key. Population size tells us the total number of people in the group we want to study. When we survey a sample, the size of the population affects how confident we can be in our results. If the population is very large, a small sample can still give us a good idea of the whole. But if the population is small, we might need a bigger sample to get the same level of confidence. The margin of error shows us how much the survey results might differ from the true population. It's like a safety buffer that tells us how precise our estimate is. When the population is big, the margin of error mainly depends on how many people we survey. But when the population is smaller or we survey a large part of it, we need to adjust the margin of error. This adjustment is called the finite population correction. It reduces the margin of error because sampling a large chunk of a small population gives us more accurate results. For example, if we survey a city with 50,000 people and ask 1,000 residents, the correction makes our estimate more reliable. Knowing the population size also helps us decide how many people to survey. If we want a margin of error of plus or minus 3 percentage points at 95% confidence, we use formulas that include the total population. This way, we can figure out the right number of respondents needed. In United States demographic studies, population size guides how we interpret data like income levels or education rates. The margin of error tells us the range where the real numbers probably fall. That helps policymakers and researchers understand how much trust they can put in the survey results. For example, if a survey says 25% of a city's residents have a college degree with a margin of error of plus or minus 2%, we know the true percentage is likely between 23 and 27%. If we didn't consider the population size, we might overestimate or underestimate that number. In practical terms, when studying a state with millions of people, a few thousand survey responses can give a small margin of error. But for smaller communities, we need larger samples or adjustments to keep the margin of error small. This ensures the data truly reflects the population's characteristics. So, population size is a big deal in margin of error calculations because it shapes how accurate and reliable our survey results are. It helps us choose the right sample size and apply the correct adjustments, making sure our demographic data in the United States is meaningful and trustworthy.